Hi everyone, Tanya here. Welcome back to today's video. I'm excited because today is part 2 of a 2-part series about gifts for kids and all these different things. And so if you have not seen part 1, I talked about toys that we recommend as a parent. I recommend and why that we have had at our house for years. If you want to check that out, I'll have in the cards and link down below. Today is part 2, are toys that we have on our wish list or that we're asking, grandparents and things for this year, and why I've added them to our wish list for our kids, and kind of explain that more to you and again give you some ideas. So let's get into it. I'm just going to be looking at my phone, and if you guys have any toys that you recommend and that you're putting on your wish list for your kids or you are buying, please share them down below so that maybe I can get some tips for birthdays and further on in the year too. That way we can all share it with each other. Definitely share them down below. So the first thing, and I'll try to list pictures up on the screen as well for you. The first thing I have is from Amazon. It is like a set of just basically colorful rocks and pebbles, which seems so silly. And again, you can go out and find some rocks, but I thought these are really cool because they're polished and they're all different kinds of colors that we don't have of stones. Like I don't have pink and purple stones out in my yard that I can find. And the thing with these stones is it's really cool because again, a lot of open-ended play you see, and I've talked in my last video, that's kind of what I'm going for with my kids. Creativity, open-ended, giving them the ability to explore, problem solve with all their toys. And the pebbles, it's really cool because you can keep them in a basket, you can practice scooping, you can practice putting them in different containers, seeing how amounts, sizes, etc. You can touch the stones, they're all different textures. There's just a lot you can do with it. And just in general, also my daughter is very into like collecting, and she had started like a rock collection. Like she goes and collects rocks when we're outside. So I just thought that'd be a really fun gift. And again, there's a lot you can do with that. Another gift that we put on our wish list for kids that we wouldn't mind, if they had, because some toys are like, oh, why did I get that? Like, I wish it was not in my house. But these are all toys that I wouldn't mind having in our house. And this next one is actually a little like toddler trampoline with a little handle. And the reason I got that is I didn't really even think about it at first, but we went to a motor play and my kids love the little trampoline. They're kind of nervous of big trampolines. I've been on them a couple times, and again, like I don't have room for a giant one, and I'm not gonna put that in my house, you know what I mean? So, but the little one, it's nice because my kids, I realize they also love to try to use the couch as a trampoline because they just have so much energy, especially here. It's really cold, and we do try to make it out, but we can't always. And the winters here are long in Minnesota, so, and they still, they're toddlers, they want to move. So it's really good for motor, active play, getting all their energy out. And again, like you can be creative, you can bounce, you can pretend it's like lava, all these different things. And it's just really fun, and it's nice because it does have little handles so they can kind of hold on to it, because my daughter's a little bit more nervous of just like jumping. She likes to have the handle. So that's something that we put on our wish list as well, and I would recommend if we have, we're going to probably put it in our basement. It's not super huge, that I would recommend if you can put that somewhere in your house, especially for winter time. The next thing I added, this is something that I wanted more for my younger son, who is 13 months. It is like a little wooden set of musical instruments, and part of kind of like Montessori play is really, and just in general for kids, is music. There's a lot of like research that shows that just connection with music and learning and just so many different skills, they're just very connected. And I won't go into all that in this video, but basically just it's really helpful just to make the connections between, if I make this hitting motion, there's a sound that comes around, like cause and effect. And so I really, that's something that I added to our list. I think it's really fun. I guess the older kids can also play, and they can, interact, make different sounds. But I kind of wanted, especially for my younger son, just because he's starting to learn like hitting and banging, all these kind of things, and I thought it'd be really helpful for him to have. The other thing that I wanted, I have a lot of Melissa and Duck things in those. I really love a lot of their things, and I wanted to share this too because I know especially a lot with like Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all those things for the holidays, there's a lot of sales on these items as well, so you can check it out and see if there's something you're interested in. Hopefully you can get a sale on it. But this one that I really added to our list was a Melissa and Doug Town playset, I think it's called. But I love this because for one, it has a lot of road signs, and my son and daughter are really into road signs. But again, this is really cool because there's all these different kind of like community buildings that we see in our own lives, like a police station, a fire station, a mail post office, all those things that they see, and they can then put into their play as they're and again, but it's open-ended because they can choose, you know, they can build Legos and put the little buildings in there, or they can make a town, or whatever they want to do. They have the opportunity to create that, and they can set up their signs all over their town, wherever they want, roads, etc. And they're nice and wooden too, so they're really good quality. I feel like they're a lot sturdier than plastic things that would break. But that's another one that I would recommend as well. Another Melissa and Doug toy is, it's like the shape, I don't know how, like puzzle builder sort of, I'm not sure exactly what you call it, but basically, I'll have a picture obviously here, but basically there's like the pictures, and you can practice using the different shapes to build pictures. And again, this is a really cool concept because you can use the shapes just by themselves, and the kids can, you know, do what they want, create, build whatever they want to do on their own, or they can use the templates kind of to help build the connection with, like, wow, if I, you know, put a hexagon with some triangles, so and so, it can build a flower, or I can build a car out of shapes. It's kind of building that concept of like shapes in a real world with objects in the real world. Is just really cool too, and it's also helpful for math skills as well, and just even fine motor to like put in and getting them to stay in the right places. There's a lot of great skills that builds as well. Another item that I put on our wish list is animal families. Specifically, my daughter is very much into all different kinds of animals, but there's something about the reason I picked not just like a bunch of plastic animals, because we do have some animals, we already have a lot of them, but I specifically put animal families because there's something about the grouping my daughter is very much into. She's almost 3, and she's very much into their learning categories and that things go together. So she literally tries to put everything, like even her food, all her anything, like even her book. She says this is the mommy, this is the daddy book, the brother, the sister, because she's mimicking like our family dynamic. And it's really cool because the animals, again, she's kind of using animals to like live out and show her own life, and she's just, there's something about the family that she's very much into. She wants them to be a unit. She wants them to be a category. She doesn't just want an animal, a giraffe, a zebra, all different things. Like, yes, those are fun, but she's very much into families. And I think that's actually sometimes a difficult concept to understand, like learning those words like grandma, uncle, cousin. Like we've actually practiced learning that with my older 4-year-old, because when he goes to preschool and sometimes, you know, he says, oh, like my grandma was over, but sometimes he's talking about his aunt. Like those words are not always that easy to think about for us, like we know it, but for a 3-year-old, those words can be tough. So we actually used a lot of those figurines and animals to explain, like, if this is the mommy, this is the daddy, this is their daughter, this is their son. The daughter and son are brother and sister, like those kind of words, but just also they're fun and they're cute as well. But I'll have a list to a few. We put the elephant family, and I think like a bear family, because those are kind of her favorite animals that she wanted. So we put those on there as well. Another one that we added to our wish list for my son, but again, all our kids share toys with each other, is like a wooden car ramp garage. My son is very much into vehicles, I'm sure like a lot of boys are, but he just loves, like, and it's great because it's like a ramp, so there's open-ended play. He can choose which directions to go. There's like a lift, all these different things, and again, it's really good quality because it is wooden. Another item that is also a Melissa Doug is a wooden tea set, and it comes with a little teapot and serving things. This is specifically for my daughter. She recently started really doing tea parties, and she's very much into them and learning the concepts of, you know, just different foods and how to put the tea into the cup and all these things. And it's just, she loves playing with her animals and with me, obviously, so I thought this would be a great one to have. And again, it's really good quality too, and it's just one of those social toys where she can practice talking, interacting. Like, it's not talking or playing or doing for her, she has to be the active one involved in the playing. The other thing that I added to our list is dress-up clothes. Now again, you can thrift and find these things, but you know, for just something we're putting on our wish list, is I put these firefighter and police. There's so many other ones, doctors, you know, just so many different ones, teachers, or whatever you want to make or whatever you want to create. There's usually outfits for that, but my kids really are into police and firefighters, so we added those to our wish list. But again, it's that active creative play. It's open-ended. They can choose how they play, who they pretend to be, you know, all those kind of things. And you can even help your kids, you know, dress up as mommy, like they would have the carrier. My kids sometimes do that, you know, push a stroller, be a daddy, and, you know, rock your baby. There's so many different ways, but those are just kind of, if you're looking for an item to purchase, like dress up outfits. Another thing that we added to our wish list, we actually did purchase for our kids already, it's under a tree, is a doctor kit. Again, it's helpful, I think, also for learning if you're kind of starting to get your kids used to like going to the doctor, getting shots. I think it's less scary when they can practice on their own. My daughter, I know when we practice and we talk about it and we act it out, she's less scared when we go to the doctor because her mind hurt. Remember when we played? and that really helps them. Also, again, it's just creative. They can pretend to be doctors, they can pretend to be dentists, they can listen to your heart, again, learning about anatomy, parts of their body. There's just so much that you can really learn through just, you know, like a certain toy, but there's so many ways that they can utilize it. Again, as you can see, that's the whole point of a lot of these toys, that they're not just a one way to play, which often, if you think of like a lot of technology or a lot of like certain like cool kind of trendy toys right now, they're not as open-ended play. It's very specific, certain ways to do it, whereas these kind of toys that I'm sharing with you, they're really great because you can utilize them for so many different ways for so many different kids, so many different ages, which I think helps save money in the end because your kids are more interested in the toys that they have longer. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.